Welcome to Under the Sun Podcast. I'm Ilea.
And I'm Irene. Grab a cup of coffee and your comfiest sweats and join us every Monday as two best friends discuss everything from raising free-range gremlins to business and really everything under the sun.
Let's get started, and thanks for being here.
I think I'm at the beginning end of something.
Oh, okay, because I think we're also kind of sick. So
Welcome to the podcast. We're just gonna jump in.
You have a little bit of like a glossy eye going on. Like your eyes are a little glossy.
My eyes were like not gooped, but I could tell this morning I was like, oh no, it's like the sick eye.
Yeah.
But I've been taking, not consistently. Or I've been taking at least once a day the Supreme nutrition products.
Okay.
The, antifungal. I just took Takasumi. Well, actually, let's just go because this is us and our coffee and our.
Hey,
we just dumped
our
got kids
hot
off outside.
Not with adults.
But yeah, we may have the sounds of children because they live here.
Yeah.
But where was I going with that? Oh,
well, we were saying that we have coffee.
Yes.
We have hot and iced. Who we are as people. Does anybody else miss the wide angle lens? Because like I don't know if anybody ever
the 1, 2, and the 3 that we could.
Yeah, it was like 1, 2, 3, and then it was the wide angle, and it was nice. I just miss it. I missed having like the joint shots instead. Now I'm like, I guess I can do a split screen. Yeah, it's fine. Maybe.
You know what this reminds me of though, is that we're gonna do. If you're not following us on Instagram already, we're gonna do a giveaway really soon on Instagram, like a Thanksgiving, thanks for being here type of giveaway, where I made a cold coffee cozy. Is it called a cozy or koozie? I call them both. I've heard it both ways.
Koozie is what I call it.
And I made a hot coffee one in honor of our hot and cold coffeeness.
Hot and cold.
And then I have
gotta get those morning poops. Morning poops.
And then I have a curling iron wand kit that I'm giving away. It has multiple sizes. But we'll post all this on Instagram. So
maybe I'll throw in some coloring books.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask if you wanted to throw in
the
Thanksgiving coloring book.
Yeah, because I was literally editing it right before she came over. So yeah.
Hooray. So follow us on Instagram and we'll get all the details of that giveaway soon. But
I also want to, with this giveaway, I want to like post a lot who won because I enter giveaways all the time and I never know.
Like they just change the caption and it doesn't notify you.
Yeah. I'm like, I want to know who wins and I want to stalk them because I'm like, what did you win? I wanted that dehydrator. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. But like, I swear I've entered so many of those things.
Really?
And I've never won. I never win anything.
Yeah.
Now I'm bitter. But that's not what today's episode is about. What is today's episode about, Irene?
It's a recap because our buzz.
Well, not a recap because recap is what we say when we replay another video.
It's basically our program we use notified us that we have done 100 podcast episodes.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
So a lot.
It's just a sit down coffee chat about the last 2 years.
It has not been 2 years. It's been a year.
Well, a year for me, but you've been going
yeah.
longer than me. So 2 years for you.
Yeah. Well, and it wasn't consistent. It's technically it's been like 3 years, but I took a stint off or like maternity leave and stuff like that. But yeah, it's honestly the only thing I think ever in my whole life I've done consistently and kept my word. Cause like that's something in my like late 20s, early 30s, I was like, I talk a lot about doing X, Y, and Z, like YouTube.
Yeah.
I talk about, I'm going to post to YouTube and do vlogs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm going to start. And then I start and then I never finish. And then I'm like, nope, with this podcast, like once we started back up, I'm like, we're going to start back up. And if we ever stop it, it's never coming back like she did.
Yep.
So this is the first time, I mean, it's been 100 episodes, a year and a half-ish of posting consistently. What was on Mondays is now on Wednesdays. And it's like, I feel very proud of myself.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. It's a lot of hard work. I just show up and clink my ice in your microphone. And you do it.
Make my job harder. Yes. Sorry, back to what you were saying. But I'm back up. The intro.
Back up.
I'm
to the
still
intro.
sick. I'm sick.
Were you sick and you're coming down from it, or you are getting sick?
Like I literally made a soup because we were all just feeling like really groggy and kind of grumpy yesterday. And like I'm still kind of groggy and grumpy, but we need to record podcast. Yeah. And I think it'll be good to reset.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And if we're all sick, I might as well just like pass it through the family quickly.
Well, and
it's inevitable.
I work with the public, so I had this one lady, so sweet, love her. coughing like crazy. And she's like, it's my allergies, I promise. But like also when I have allergies, I cough, so I get it. Could have been allergies, could have been a cold, but it's just that, I mean, we're coming into fall. It's that season where everyone's coughing and it's like, please don't cancel my root appointment. It's just allergies and my immune system's beefy.
Cancel
so it's
your
fine.
what?
Like their roots.
Oh, yeah.
And I have a couple clients, this one in particular, she drives like an hour and a half to get her hair done every 5 weeks.
Gosh. You're
So
just so good.
So I get
Meanwhile,
it. I get it.
Irene posted a reel about how like it's great being the best friend of a hairstylist because you get to do things all the time.
It was great.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to trade her casseroles for hair stuff because
I'm all about bartering. Which
my hair had grease for the second time. I had to wash it last night. No, night before last night because I had grease again. Guys, I never have grease. Have we been to talk about this on the podcast before?
I think we have before in a scalp health one, but go for it.
I have no grease. And the 2 times she's washed my hair after like on the 7th day I start to get grease. And I'm like, yay!
Yeah. Because normally it would, like, people are like 7th day, but normally she just will not grease. She'll wash her hair because the ends get crispy.
I've gone 3 weeks without washing my hair, washing my body, but like just to see when my body would start to produce grease. Yeah. I never found that mark. Yeah. But it also, I can't decide. It's like, look at my nails.
Look at you. I'm so proud.
Try to bend them.
Look at that.
They're strong. I have strong nails. So the
they
more people
always break.
Who listen to our podcast and don't watch, and I'm like, feel them. Like, what are we talking about? So maybe this is one you need to watch. But my nails are long for the first time ever, and they're not breaking. And I don't know. I did too many things at once to know exactly what did it. Yeah. But I did a methylated B complex. I've been doing magnesium complex. I got that mineral stuff, which I don't think that's it because these were already long. Yeah. And I've been like not eating any thing crappy. Yeah. For the most part.
What do you think of, speaking of, I'm going to be burping up Culver's because I ate an entire gluten-free burger in like 3 seconds on the drive over here, but I was like, I had to go shovel it in, so ignore the burps. But that minerals,
we're like burping, sniveling, eyes. We are gross. We're the gross podcast to be tuning into.
It's winter, and we are mothers, so we were in Kroger today. My daughter picked a big booger out of her nose. Ew. And we're like, I'm in the go mode, and I had this chunky like sweater jacket thing on. And no, she's like, what do I do with this burger? I'm like, Nova, stop picking your nose. And then I was like, wipe it on the inside of my coat, because what do you do? Yeah, you're in the middle of Kroger. So,
yeah. But I say you because like she's not my kid. Yeah. But if Leo did the same thing, I would not.
Like, where are you going to put this booger?
Like, I totally, I get it. So. Yeah, I get it. But it's also super gross. Yeah. Kids are gross. Yeah. Also, I want to do an episode about things I said I wouldn't do in motherhood, but then now do. Okay. And the perspective shift. Yeah. Of like what that means. But I need to think about it.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of little things you'll forget about until you do it. It's like, oh, well, did that. Yeah. But back to the bartering and the hair. Yeah. That kind of ties into the episode. So it's a good segue. We're doing a little bit of a post 100 episode rebrand. Yes. And I traded our friend. I was like, hey, I'll trade your roots for some photos. So bartering is great. So we're going to get new photos posted soon. And
yeah, I can't.
Behind the scenes of poor Taylor almost getting mounted by a male turkey. So that's great. Yep. So great. And I'm going to put it as far away as I can, but I have to stir it.
We can still hear it. You don't have to stir.
Look at that blend. It's a good blend. It's okay. It's a little bit, I tried a seasonal one. I don't know why I do that. I like the same coffee all the time, but I was like, I'm going to get something fall festive because it's freezing today. It's just sweet. I don't like sweet coffee. But
yeah. I was out the other day, with Leo. Like, Dave went out of town, and then we went and spent the day in the town that he was flying into, thinking like, oh yeah, like it'll be fun. I'll grab myself a coffee, and it was like disgusting. I'm like, this is why I don't spend money on coffee, because it's like it never is like, no matter. I don't buy communist coffee, but like, I can't be consistent. Like,
I was gonna say, that's why I like my communist hairstylist coffee, my communist pro-Israel coffee.
It's so dumb,
but it's the same everywhere I go. I get the same drink.
Yeah, but it tastes bad.
Tastes the same. But I like the taste of my one drink. Anytime I used to get lattes, and their lattes taste fake. They taste like garbage. But I basically just get cold brew with half and half blended with a little bit of caramel. So it's very bland.
Okay, what was your favorite episode of the ones you were a part of? What was your favorite?
Favorite ridiculous or favorite informative?
Let's do one of each.
Okay, then my favorite ridiculous was the one with the fellas.
Oh yeah. That was just,
It was all over the place. And
It was all
but that
over
is
the
a
place.
normal dinner time conversation for the four of us. So
well, and like since we've had kids, our kind of ADD has heightened
Yeah.
of like staying on topic because
Yep.
we're so used to being interrupted every 25 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, that one was a good one.
I would say informative. My heart for our tech issues, but I think the first episode we did with Noah,
I was gonna say
was
that
my
too.
favorite. But then we had no audio or something happened. We had to scrap the episode, and then when we did the refilm, it was just you, which is a great interview. I loved everything about it, but I think because I wasn't like in the room,
Yeah.
it was just different. But
I
his interview is one of my favorites, and then actually the one with the chef
Yeah.
for Pluck
Chef
was
James.
one of my favorite.
Oh, nice. I think
Oh gosh, they're all great.
unhinged ones. I love the one with the guys, which we need to do another one. We were going to have them on for the 100th one, but they're, like we mentioned in the previous episode, they are in the middle of editing a documentary and / recording additional like little like talking head interviews for the documentary. And so that's why maybe it looks a little different, and maybe it shouldn't sound different, but it should look a little different, especially on my camera. But where was I going with that? Oh yeah, we were going to have them on, but they're super busy right now, and like Dave can't add anything more to his plate.
Yeah.
So
Neither can Jacob. He sleeps like 2 hours a night and he has heart conditions. So I'm like, please stop adding things. He actually is very good at saying no lately, though. So
yeah,
that's
good.
Except for that our garbage disposal broke. So one side of our sink doesn't drain.
Okay.
That's the only thing I'm like, you can add the garbage disposal to your list.
Or just to have your landlord do it because that's why
could.
you live in an apartment, so that you don't have to handle
The last
household
time-
projects.
Well, it's a multi-reason. We're not trying not to rock the boat because our rent has not been raised in a while. And I don't want her to remember that we rent from her. It's like, here's your money. Don't look at us. Nothing's here. But the last time, she always sends the same maintenance guy to come in. And the last time he came in, the house smelled of smoke so badly.
Oh, gross.
Your sister came over a week later and like was like, your house smells like smoke. I'm like, I know. It literally lingered. And he was in our house for 10 minutes. I'm like, it's fine. I just won't do the dishes. It's great. It's a win-win for me.
I don't know. How are people still smoking? It's 2024. We have the information about how, like, it does nothing beneficial for you. Why are people still smoking? Why are people still drinking?
Don't know.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Things flip, I think, generationally, because now, have you seen it? They have a bunch of sober bars, which I'm like, you know what? Good for these, because sometimes I want to be social and I want to have a cute, like, I'm all about cute.
Yeah, like a mocktail.
Trendy things.
Oh, yeah.
There are bars popping up in all the major LA, Chicago. It's a sober bar. You go in and you get drinks and they're in the fun cups and they shake it up and they do all the fun stuff, but it's completely alcohol free.
See, that's what I'm here for.
wonderful.
Because I love I love the look of like a martini, but like I don't ever drink anymore. It's maybe once a quarter.
Yeah.
Where I'll have it. And then I never finish it. Like Dave bless his heart, bought me like little margarita things, trying to be nice.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's just not worth it to me and my health. Like I feel like crap for days after. It doesn't
Especially when your
benefit my
kidney and
health.
livers are already on your like constitutional list.
Now, I really want to get Dr. Motley on. Dr. Motley, if you ever listen to our podcast, respond to my DM. Everybody blast Dr. Motley so that he can actually come on our podcast, because he talks about, and it feels woo-woo, but it's not. Like, I know there's something to it because like God created our bodies and created like the energy and all this stuff. We just put names to it, and Chinese medicine just put names to it. Like, it's all God's creation.
Yeah.
So like when he talks about like the liver and the kidney are like trapped emotions, and like he said something the other day. What did he say?
I actually listened to
abandonment
that one,
or something.
Which is so crazy that I listened to it because I don't really listen to podcasts, which is funny because I'm on podcasts. But like a couple weeks ago, I actually listened to his whole podcast on like where emotions are trapped, because I didn't want emotions to get trapped.
It to you?
No, I was just I needed my emotions to not be pent up.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll listen to whatever I can find, and that was a great one.
Yeah,
telling you like, so at least I knew like, oh, I'm experiencing this emotion. Let me make sure my whatever organ doesn't get bogged, because I know enough to know like, when I get stressed, my guts, which is always for me, my guts are always tightened. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I can't have my guts and another organ tightened. Let me try to diffuse it all, it was such a good interview.
Yeah, it was. And
I know it was an interview. I think it was a solo podcast.
He's so great at just like giving you the information and no fluff. We're not.
Okay,
we are all fluff about 3% information.
We have good information.
That's a t-shirt. We're all fluff.
We have good information, but our recall is in the toilet.
Well, I have some recall. I just can't tell you where I heard it, where I found it.
I have enough recall to know this is good, this is bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if someone's like, give me the science behind it, and I'm like, I promise you I read it and the science was enough for my logical brain to believe it, I can't give you that science. But
also, when people say the science, science, it's so, like, I cringe now. Probably post 2020, but I cringe because I'm like, do you need a scientific study to take a dump in the morning? No, like, poop is good. Like, why do we need a scientific study for everything? And, like, people need to know how to freaking research who funded that study, who is a supporter of that study, like who is doing the study, is it third party, is it second party, like what is it first party, because that happens a lot in pharmaceuticals where it's Pfizer doing their own clinical studies on Pfizer and doing their own research. It's like
she is fired.
I'm yelling.
I hate those post-COVID, I've already done this on a podcast, but those stupid signs. I almost sent Eileen a picture. I hate that sign. It was like, have a nice day. And I was like, don't tell me what to do. That sign and the word unprecedented. Anytime I hear that, I'm like, I'm going to punch you in the throat. Stop. Someone just like found like, oh, this is fun to say. And they kept saying it. I'm like, stop saying that.
It's called TV programming for a reason. Like the reason they say like the news, everybody says like unprecedented times. It's like, oh yeah, because it's this unprecedented time, we have to do unprecedented things and have to just like go along to get along, like row your boat gently down the stream, merrily life is beautiful. It's just telling you to like,
do you think about that song?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, because
I think about every kid song I sing to my kid that's like, that basically like just
be
shut
a
up
robot,
and sit down,
anything.
don't say anything, everything is fine, don't ever row the boat. It's like, no, Leo, like rock the boat, jump out, take a swim, like I don't want you following, like to row your boat.
That showed up, they had a cute graphic in it, like the music was calm, and I sang it all the time as a kid, like I didn't think too deeply about it, I just like.
But everything is programming.
We were
God, this episode is everywhere. Gosh,
but we were talking about it. And Jacob was like, I hate that song. I was like, why? And then I laughed. I was like, well, I am a loser. And I loved that song because I would listen to whatever version. It was like one of the We Sing VHSs. Did you ever have those? Yeah. And it would go and it was like a 17-part harmony and everybody started and my brain was like, this is great. So anytime.
I did hit record on that.
Yeah,
right?
you did.
Okay.
Anytime there's like a song that like will repeat and someone can start off key, which those drive Jacob, I think, nuts.
It's because we all grew up Baptist and harmony is like, I sing harmony better, I feel like, than I sing lead. Like
there was one time you were trying to remember the lead to your own song that you wrote and I kept singing it and we were like, no, that's wrong. And I kept singing it because I kept singing only the harmony, but I only knew.
It's all a mess.
Your brains are weird.
Yeah. But I'd say my favorite, Unhinged. I really like the one in the airport, even though it's super imperfect.
That is Unhinged.
Like, I think it's more of the moment. Like, it was a really good soul-filling trip for me. Not necessarily, the conference was good.
Right.
But like, I think more the quality time with my friend that I haven't had in 5 years.
Yeah.
Was
now
way more
I found
important.
a place that's like an hour and a half from us that has a strip full of shops to walk through. And that's it, Airbnbs, and that's it. So.
Okay, let's go there because I want to go stay in an A-frame because I want to look at their structure and I want to build an A-frame chicken coop. So I want to do that again. But probably I really like the first Noah one. I've thought about like going and digging and seeing if there's anything I can recover from it. But it was so bad. Like I think it was his internet because his audio kept cutting out.
Oh no!
And so like it was not only
there was something audio, but
the video would freeze on one thing and then his audio would like dip out for like. It would be one thing if it was like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, okay, just cut out. You can tell it was like 20 seconds it would drop out. And I remember just being like,
what do we do?
Yeah. But no,
because we try not to waste anybody's time if they're giving us like not kind enough to give us an hour of their lives. It's like, can we do that again, please?
Yeah, he's so nice. I would say ROGERSHOOD was one because I just like people who are genuine.
Yeah. I love all of our interviews. I really loved the BIORAY one too.
Oh, dang, that was a good one too.
I want to have her. Have we started that process?
No, we haven't.
We want to have her back to talk about some lady issues.
Yeah, specific. Yeah, like kind of like, hey, try not
libido.
for us to get distracted. You know, be like, okay, like give us, the remedy.
Yeah.
And that was a good one. I don't think there's been one interview where I'm like, bleh, I feel icky after that. Like, 'cause sometimes people are duds, and I haven't had that yet.
Dogs.
My mom must have just got here to babysit my kids, so they're barking because they heard her car pull up on the gravel. But, yeah, I'm proud of us because I think we're also, like, statistically, I mean, I can't remember the statistic, but, like, people to even make it to 100 podcast is really rare. Yeah. Like, usually people bow out at, like, 20. And and there are projects I've done in the past, I'm just going to keep it vague, that we had only released like 10 things, and they were like, oh, well, if it hasn't popped off by now, it probably won't, and they gave up. And I'm like, what? Like, we're still at 100, and we're still like, we're making some money, and it's not all about money. It's about information for moms and community. Yeah. But like, we also need to like pay ourselves. We need to buy groceries and stuff. But like, it's taken 100 episodes to where now we're actually like, we have sponsors that are actually like paying off because people like care and are listening, and that's really nice.
It's awesome.
It's really nice.
Are you a person?
I'm a person.
Are you a person that breathes? Yeah. Then you probably have a worm in your booty.
Oh.
If you have a pulse, you have a parasite. Yeah. So, and it's not because you're dirty, and it's not because you're gross, and you can wash your hands 75 times a day.
Even if you haven't been to a third world country,
you're going to get worms.
Yep.
So
everybody
go to rogershood.com and use the code UTSP10. You'll get 10% off of this kit. It's a beautifully packaged kit. It has everything you need for a 30-day cleanse to get those worms out of you. On these next few episodes, I want to find a dentist. So, so there is a dentist.
Out.
Oh, good. There's a dentist in town. Dentist named Crentist. There's a dentist in town that will do safe amalgam removal. So I start that process on the 19th.
You do?
I start the first appointment. It's just like a basic checkup thing because I have not gone to the dentist in forever. And I'm anti like fluoride and all of those things. Yeah. But there is a point where like I brush and I floss daily, and there's always just like build up. So it's like, okay, I think I just need to get them cleaned. And then go from there. But there's a dentist I follow on Instagram who talks about like cavity reversal. You and I both follow her, and I can't think of her name. But on her website, she has a list of people that do the safe removal. And somehow someone in Peoria is on that list.
Nice.
So, and their whole website is like holistic. Oh, shoot. I said the name.
That's okay. I'll bleep it out.
And I was trying to think about it, and then I thought about it so much that I rabbit trailed off. But their website even has like holistic dentistry and whatever. So when I called, I was like, I don't know what I need,
dental,
but no.
Okay.
It's like, I don't know what I need, but I'm like, here's just all of my issues. She's like, okay, well, because I said, can I just schedule a cleaning? And she said, well, let's take a look first and see what type of cleaning you need. So I kind of love that they weren't like, yeah, just come in. We'll just douse you with fluoride and scrape it all off. She's like, well, we'll look and see what you need and go from there. I'm like, that's great. I didn't even know there were options for what kind of cleanings you needed. But I'm going to start the initial appointment. I think when my brother removed his, because it's not necessary to get it out.
That's such a lie.
I know.
I wonder if you could convince our doctor, who we trust, who's not like other doctors, to write you a prescription to have a removal.
I wonder. I'll have to check into that.
Because Callie or Casey Means, Callie, I think is the boy. Yeah. Callie Means has like that program. I don't know how it works with dentistry, but if you can get a prescription for like a gym membership, you can have your insurance cover it. So maybe.
I'm going to check and see all that. But I think my brother, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, he spent $6,000 out of pocket, which I'm not going to do all of my teeth in one. I was like, if I can get one tooth swapped out, great. So I'll keep everyone updated. So if anyone else has fillings and they want to know what the process is to swap them out.
You should vlog it. You should like.
Maybe. I am one of those people that literally panic attack at the dentist. So.
Oh, that's.
Hate that. That's why I would have gone to get my teeth cleaned like 2 years ago, but I can't.
Okay.
Dentists give me, because I have so much childhood drilling, mental trauma, not trauma, but what's it? Body memory. Like I'm sweating thinking about it.
Oh my gosh. I have the fear because I don't trust them. So like when I went in, because I had a tooth that broke 2 years before Dave and I got married. So it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And she was actually very impressed. She's like, I'm surprised it's only this rotted, because she's like, what are you doing? And I said, I swish with clove and coconut oil. And I was like, but I had an ear infection, which was I thought was maybe a tooth infection.
I remember that, yeah.
And I think it actually was just an ear infection that was radiating to my tooth.
Yeah.
But long story short, she was like, oh yeah, like we can schedule an extraction. I was like, can we do it now? She was like, why? And I was like, because I don't think I'll come back.
Yeah.
Like I really don't think I'll come back.
Yeah.
And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't trust doctors very much. I was like, and I don't like people touching my mouth. I was like, all of it. Like, I was like, it takes a lot for me to hyperventilate. I've been on stage in front of like 10,000 people. I've done really high pressure interviews. I've done like things, but I'm like, I'm gonna die if I stay. If I have to come back, I think I'd rather like not.
Yeah.
So she like also never have a woman pull your tooth because
they're not strong enough.
They're not strong enough. It took a long time. A long time. It probably took 10 minutes of her yanking to get that tooth out. But I'd rather have it ripped out before I ever get a root canal.
Yeah, true.
Because root canals are bad. But like they don't tell you this. No. And we have a friend who has root canals.
Well, they didn't tell me that as a kid. I think like all of my molars are full of mercury. Well, back then, a dentist isn't going to put it in your mouth if it's not safe.
Yeah.
And I've been getting my teeth drilled since I was a child. I don't think the amount of metal that's in my mouth, I'm like, there's no way that my teeth were that.
Yeah.
I don't think that much of my tooth needed to be taken out.
I know.
And so it's like, I really don't trust them. But
no.
But I also fired a dentist this week. So on the topic of kind of that, you can fire your doctor. You can also fire your dentist. Yeah. I didn't fire them, but I went in to have them look at my gum line because Smile Direct trashed my gum line. And I was like, hey, what do we need to do about this? His immediate thing was you need to get a cleaning, which I agree because I've even like tried to scrape it. Like my teeth are just a mess from a life of a mess. I've been eating healthier than most people I know for more than half of my life, but it's all that like early childhood stuff that's kind of creeping through. But his first thing was to send me to an oral surgeon for a graft to like move some gum. And I'm like, okay, well, can the skin grow back? Can it do this? And I kind of like, I have a little bit of knowledge, but I also just try not to look or think about teeth ever. But so I have not deep dived it. But he's like, no, just here's your referral. Go to the oral surgeon, come back and get a cleaning. Well, the cleaning was going to be like $500. And the initial appointment with the doctor I wanted to go to is like the same price. I'm like, well, if they're the same price, I'm just going to like start the process.
Yeah.
But I just didn't go back. I didn't call the referral. I canceled the cleaning with them. I was like, I didn't feel comfortable. And if you don't feel comfortable, just because they have a degree doesn't mean they know all. So.
No. And also like there's a dentist I want to get on, but they're probably like way too big. What?
Now I can't think of
Crentis
every time you say the word dentist. Carry on.
There's a Crentis that we want on the podcast. I'll have to share his profile. It's him and his wife because like they thought like long story short, they sacrificed so much for him to go to dentistry and then he got into it and then they started learning about health after like his wife had some health issues. Yeah. And he realized like, oh, everything I'm learning is actually wrong and a lie. And so like he's like, but we're in so much debt. I have to finish this. So then am I gonna have to go practice dentistry the way I don't like it? Yeah. Now they have like a huge following on like ways to do things holistically. And I'm like, that's the kind of hero story I'm looking for. Yeah. But I want to have them on because
that would be great.
Because okay, did I ever show you my cavity?
No, but I have seen it before because I have mentioned it.
I feel like it's smaller.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I've been doing lots of stuff, but there's something I was going to say off of that. I can't remember. Yes, fire your doctor if you don't feel comfortable or safe, or they pressure you for asking questions,
or the entire front desk is full of like you could tell a pharmaceutical sales guy dropped off all these samples. Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm out of here. This is not my place. But.
No, or also like there's a place in town that's like if you Google like holistic dentistry in my area, it pops up, and then all they have is ozone therapy. And that's it. No. Like that's the only thing about them that's holistic. Yeah. So yeah, it's. I don't know how we got onto dentistry, but I hope
it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you.
That'll be another video coming up. I want to get a dentist on in the next 50 episodes, and I'll update everyone with how my mercury removal is going. Because if a light bulb, I'm aware all of the light bulbs in our house are LED, and still when it shatters, I'm like, are you sure there's no mercury in that? And Jacob is like, calm down. I'm like, no, I can't. I just have to be sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for you to get the
inhale
removal.
It all the time.
Yeah. That's pretty. It's so corrupt.
The tooth powder I'm using. We're just going to keep talking about teeth, apparently.
Someone who listens to us who hates teeth as well, they're like, well,
I'm over here going, that tooth powder I was telling you about, it's, I think, because I have a cavity that's up in like this side, I'm pretty sure that's getting smaller. It's getting like lighter brown than it was before,
isn't it weird?
Which is so crazy. But that toothpaste, it does have bentonite clay, but I think on like the health movement, it's like, well, you can't use this, we can't use that, we'll do that. And it's like, I think in this instance, you have to go with your intuition, and I really trust my intuition. So this tooth powder, you dip your toothbrush in, you brush it, you leave it on, and all the minerals go into your teeth. Mm-hmm. which it does have bentonite clay, but I don't feel... My gut's not saying that like there's too much... Is it aluminum or zinc? Aluminum in it. And I am not obsessed with heavy metals, but I'm conscious of them because my mouth is metal. And I don't feel any negative... I hate to sound woo-woo, but I don't feel like negative feelings about this tooth powder, and I'm pretty sure it's getting smaller.
Well, also, like, God gives us discernment for what we need.
Yeah.
And, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, we're not using aluminum foil. We're not using other things. So, like, we are going to get microdosed kind of either way. So, like, I have bentonite clay, and I occasionally will take a detox bath, and I'll definitely, like, listen, sometimes Leo will get super just, like, whiny and cranky, and then I give her a little detox bath, just, like, gentle apple cider vinegar. I measure everything. Make sure you measure. We'll talk about that someday. Bentonite clay, apple cider vinegar, and magnesium. Yeah. And, like, she sleeps hard that night, and then she wakes up, and her eyes aren't as dark, and she's nicer.
Good, yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so even if there was a little bit of aluminum, like, you're... Whatever what was happening, you needed some relief from that. So yeah.
So what else do you want from the next 100 episodes?
I wanted to partner with I also want to, like, I'm doing stuff on the side too. Yeah. So I have the which I want to do an ad for. I can just do it here, I guess. No, I'll do it later.
Do it.
I want to do it to where I can cut it and use it for something else. So I want to do it like an intentional one. But I have my coloring book coloring books. I'm doing it for every season that's like from a Christian worldview, or like just has Bible verses to encourage your kids. And honestly, like, I'm editing Thanksgiving's one right now, and the verses that I pulled, I'm like, I'm going to print them out on cards and just tape them around my house. Because sometimes I just need, like, I need the reminder. I'm like, I don't ever sit down to just color, but like,
you should. It's very therapeutic.
Well, I have a hard time just sitting down in general, but
I know, but I'm going to buy you some good markers for Christmas.
Leo will ruin them. Please don't.
No, just hide them. I have, because that is one of the very few things in my house that my kids have not taken over, and they cry and they whine, and I'm like, you are not using my good markers. Use those ones.
Yeah. So that I have that, and then I have a series that I'm going to do on my personal YouTube channel of like, hey, you're wanting to reduce toxins in your home. Here's like here's the starting guide for each room. Yeah. That's like,
I love
you can do it either if you have the money to replace it all at once, good for you, more power to you. If you don't and you have to do it one by one, great. If you need to thrift it, here's the way to do it. Like, and it's, I'm excited for that, but I'm excited for all of it. And then the podcast continuing, getting more guests, getting more efficient at it because we're really inefficient at this right now. I would love to like bulk record a whole bunch. That way we can, be ahead of the game. Yeah. But then also, like, my goal in 2025 is to retire my husband, which is very, very far off. Yeah. But I would really like that because I think, in just full transparency, like, none of us are thriving with the current situation of, like, all of us have so many projects. And for us, our personal hiccup is that, like, Dave has to work like 50 hours a week. And so then when he's off work, he feels the need to, like, do all the home projects that I can do, but I don't want to use power tools around Leo, like especially saws and stuff, like hand saws.
I get it.
I'm nervous about that, and she only naps a couple hours, like an hour and a half a day, and then we're like, it'll probably be gone soon. And so I'm like, he kind of has to do those projects, and then on the weekends he's trying to finish his documentary, and like they have this big vision with Chasing Mountains.
He was at our house till 3 a.m.
I know, and so like, because I think there's that tension of like, I want him to do all the things he wants to do, but also like there's just like, we should still go on dates. Yeah. And like, I want to still be a couple and like pursue each other. It sounds lame, but like, I still want to like pursue each other in like right now we're just prioritizing like building businesses and keeping our heads above water. And I want to get out of that. So I'm like praying that like, I actually had a prayer that like, I've been writing them down because I forget like really easily. Yeah. Which is scary. I'm trying to work on that. But I wrote down 3 months ago that I was like, Lord, the podcast is yours. Like, I can't, my perfectionism was getting in the way. And I was like, I can't do it like without you. Cause like you were really busy with work. I'm like, and like, there's like, Dave's busy. I'm like, there's not really that many people to help me. And so I was like, you can just have it. And then we got our biggest paycheck ever. And we got to go on our first trip.
That was
and I'm like
coinciding. That's
I was
awesome.
like that. It was like weeks after. Yeah. And I'm like, that to me is a little God wink of like, okay, this is the avenue, and maybe this is not saying that anything's ever going to be easy, but I think if I could just supplement my husband's income, it could make our home life a lot more peaceful.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like it's very peaceful right now.
Yeah.
But
I get that.
what do you want? Sorry, that was a word vomit.
The same to be able to, I love what I do. So it's conflicting in my brain because there's no part of me that's like, I want to quit working and only do, I love my job.
Yeah.
I've
never loved a job ever.
And I think that's like when Jacob and I are talking, if I'm ever stressed or overwhelmed because my balance is off kilter, it's just that my plates are both too full and they're all tipping over. It's not that I want to like stop doing anything. I just need to find a way to balance it. And I think if the pressure wasn't on, well, I have to pick up an extra shift to do this or pay for my teeth, whatever, as we do in middle agehood. If I could just do things without the added stress of that, I think, because he had mentioned the other day, he's like, well, as we're talking about what the next couple years are looking like, because we just had our 10th anniversary. So it's like, that regroup of like, okay, it's been 10 years. Where are we? What happened? How did we get to 10 years? And he said, well, what if I told you like, you starting today, you can never do hair again in your life? I was like, I'd be miserable. He's like, you actually like, he knows I like my job.
It's amazing.
But he can't, like, I could sit there and foil for hours and have the best day as long as I don't have 15 other things stacked behind me. Could podcast all day if I didn't, but so it's like finding that balance. And I think some of that balance, like everything shouldn't be about money. But the reality is we live in a world where we have to pay bills and
because of certain administration, everything is like 3x. And even
in our local town, which I'm going to try really hard to not accidentally say, our water has been yellow for a month. And basically, if you call the city that we live in and say, hey, when is my water going to be cleared up? Which only means...
say, I'm going to stop paying my water bill until our water is clean.
That's great, but then they're going to shut it off.
I know.
But that just means to me, whenever they fix this, which they will tell you on the phone, oh, there's no end in sight, we're not sure. I don't even think they're trying to fix it. But that means in like a month, my water's going to be full of chlorine because they're just going to dump a bunch of chlorine to zap
That's their only answer.
But you can't just call them and say, I'm not going to pay my water bill, because they'll say, great, we'll shut your water off. So it's like, I don't know. I don't want to play the game, but I also want to be able to, like, I don't know what I do with my water. We don't drink it. We don't cook it. We don't brush our teeth with it. But I would like to be able to shower at home. So
I want, the more overwhelmed I feel.
It's so hard, but it's actually, I don't know why it's extra loud today.
Because they're like big, chunky pieces of ice.
It's because I don't have a straw. I think I always have a straw.
Oh, yeah. But then you go the whole time. I feel like we're so not meant to do this parenting thing alone. Mm-hmm. And like there's so, like I think back in the day, like you had like a village, like and we don't really have villages anymore. I think the biggest con in society is that we separated the family unit, like the family units, like
everyone needs their own house.
Everyone needs their own house, their own bills, their own rent, like, and they frame that as independence, but actually what true independence is independence from needing the government or being like so frazzled trying just to pay your bills. Like I so badly just want a compound. I want, like, it doesn't have to be huge. I just want like my parents, you and Jake and the kids and Bobby, my sister, and her boys if they want to. And like honestly, I don't care who. I just want a village that has like good boundaries, but like a village. Because it's just something just feels off. I feel like there's like something missing. Yeah. Like I'm not doing something right. Not like a mom guilt, but I'm like, what am I missing? Like, how can I do not manage a house well. And I've tried all the lists. So I'll let you know how, if I figure it out. But I just don't know. Like, there has to be something else. Maybe there is a spider repelling so slowly from your ceiling. Wait. No. Hold on. Everybody wait! Oh, I can't see him from my phone. Oh, wait, I lost him. Oh, he's on the ground. That is just going to anger him. Allie Beth Stuckey, I'm sorry about your book. No. Oh, don't put him. Actually, spiders don't scare me. Why is he jumping? Because he knows you're so sweaty. Do you want me to get him? Where's my shoe? I'm so sweaty. Okay. Nobody look at my butt. I'm in sweatpants. Okay. Did you get it? Yeah, I got it. Okay. I'm sweaty. Why am I so sweaty? I don't know. There was a wolf spider in our kitchen the other day, and Jacob killed it, and he's like, you can get it. And if I wasn't home, he would have gotten it, but I'm not
spiders don't faze me. So I picked it up and I'm like, look, kids. Then I flushed him. But
You grabbed it alive?
no, Jacob, I think, threw a shoe at it, and then I picked it. He didn't want to like grab, but he was this big alive, so he was still like that big dead, and I just picked it up and showed the kids its under carcass. It was great, but science. But all that, back to the village. I don't think we're all meant, like, I don't cook.
Yeah.
Like, I should. I just didn't, but I can clean and I can manage a schedule.
I can't manage a schedule for crap, but I love cooking.
Yeah.
But I can manage a food schedule.
To be
Yeah, like, hey, like, you really
cohesive.
love doing laundry. Like, you're in charge of family laundry.
Yep.
Like,
I love laundry.
I love gardening, and not everybody loves gardening.
Yeah.
I just feel like we have society so backwards as I peel back the layers, and I'm just trying to like dismantle. I'm like, are we actually supposed to live separately? Because I'm like, I don't know. I also
like the stress on a mom to be everything, to be a good scheduler, be a good housekeeper, be a good wife, be a good, like, I don't think that any one human being can be all of it.
No, because like,
and the pressure's always there because you are the only head female of your house.
Yeah.
So.
And it's just, I mean, there's reels about it because I think every woman feels it. It's like, okay, you're telling me I have to cook 3 healthy meals, make snacks from scratch because everything's trying to kill us. I need to work out because I have to like bounce back, but I have to, like, we want to have kids and repopulate more, and but also be a good wife, have good mental health, also start a side hustle, also like all these things. It's like keep a house clean, keep the lawn mowed, have a beautiful, aesthetically pleasing entryway with all the fall decor. It's like how do you keep up? Yeah, and I'm starting to like just feel the weight of like I don't want to anymore.
A
like,
thought
I just don't
then
care.
For the next 100 episodes. I mean, we're already kind of doing it, but like I would say a goal of mine would be to dismantle everything that has been taught to women the last few, or is still currently being taught on TV, or I don't know, people don't do magazines, like Instagram, like whatever is out there. Dismantle. And we're not saying we know everything or we're perfect or we can't even do it, but we can at least have, people don't conversate anymore, which is also something I love about my career is like I talk to everybody. Like, I talk to people for basically a living all day. People of all walks of life, all sides of the political spectrum. And I personally feel like I'm not going to change anybody's mind by going out and like charging to battle, but I'm really good at talking to people one-on-one and like getting that emotional. Because I can weep with those that weep, but my emotional window is closed. So I'm not going to take it home with me. I'll cry with someone. Like I had a client this year, she found out she had breast cancer, and I teared up with her and I hugged her and I let her go, and I did not carry that to the next appointment because I don't think
Have we ever talked about emotional windows?
No, we haven't, but we should. But I think we should have Dean on and talk about emotional windows. Yeah. Because I didn't take that course and I wanted to, and I'm so curious about it.
I think I told you about it because
you told me because you took that.
The business I used to work for, the church I used to lead worship for Dean's church, which we talked about. They talk about like your emotional window. It's like everybody has one. It's either like you're wide open and you can walk into a room and be like, somebody's mad at somebody, and I can physically feel it. And that's me. Like I can
sympathize great, but I don't feel it. But you feel.
So you're like I have a hard time. There's a certain group of people we hang out with that sometimes like when we go hang out with them, like the tension is so palpable. I'm like, I like leave and I like want to start crying. I'm not a crier. I'm just like, it's just like I'm overwhelmed by everybody's like intensity. Yeah. And like nobody's fighting, but like the passive aggressive stabs are just exhausting. Yeah. So like we should have him on to talk about that.
That'd be such a good topic to like, but I love a personality test.
I'm going to write that down.
But all the personality tests I take say that my personality is someone who likes personality tests. So apparently I fit into a big box. But I feel like this is, yes, it's you and I conversating and we're on the same page with like almost everything. But if we can conversate like adults who aren't just screaming at each other as the media and social media does, I think you're able to, when you have more of a personal in-depth conversation, you're more likely to have someone stop and think about why they believe what they do versus like, don't believe that, that's stupid. Well, I'm immediately going to say, well, there's my wall, see you later. So that's what I love about this podcast is maybe we change some minds for the better, maybe we don't, but I feel like we've had some really cool comments of people saying like, hey, I fired my doctor. Or, hey, I did this. I'm like,
I know.
good,
I
you
love
have
that.
the power to do this. And we're hopefully here to help you
Maybe. Okay, so
Again,
we're
not that
after
we know
this,
anything, but-
we're going to record our rebrand intro. Maybe we'll add something in about and dismantling the beliefs that we've all been told, like whatever, something snappy.
Yeah,
it'll be better later.
Yeah.
But like something like, because like maybe that's that is my underlying mission of like I didn't believe it in my brain. I knew it, but like in my like everybody told me having kids will ruin your life, and it changes for sure.
Yeah,
and like it adds complications, but like I also have never felt more important or needed.
Yeah.
And like not that I don't know, a purpose of like raising a child, like the next generation.
Like what's your purpose on this earth? You live and you die, and then what?
My purpose before was not recording videos for Big Ag. Like that was not my purpose. And so when this beautiful big-headed purpose came into the world, I'm like,
poor large head.
Oh, like, my vagina, I can
makes
feel
me
it
hurt
right
for you. Yeah.
I know. Ugh, okay. That's what stops me. I'm like, what if my kids just keep getting bigger?
Maybe
I started out with 10 with a 15-inch head.
Maybe the next one's noggin won't be as aggressive.
I don't know. But I want to make an impact, and not in the sense of like every reel is like a hot button topic, but like, hey, like let's just that little thought in your head that says motherhood is a burden and not a gift from God, because like it says it many times in the Bible.
Yes.
That like children
literally
are a blessing,
says
a gift. And I'm like, I am such a fool for letting media and magazines shift that in my brain, what God has spoken over mothers to like that children are a gift. And mind you, I believe my child is a gift. I just sometimes get into that like toxic mommy culture of like, oh, woe is me, I don't ever get to do anything I want. I would love to just change some people's minds on that, or the value of eating healthy food, or I don't know, just all of it. Yeah. I just want to dismantle it, because it's all like, everything was a lie. Basically, I'm not the person I ever thought I would be, and everything is a lie tried to kill us. And so I'm just relearning how to dismantle that. I'm going to get an apple. I'm going to be Irene.
Doesn't bother me. I think I have oldest child syndrome of a large family. Like there could be a circus and a marching band behind me, and I'm like, can tunnel it all out. And I've had to tunnel it all out. But it's like my poor kids. Sometimes Jacob's like, hey, they're talking to you. And I'm like, oh, I've accidentally tunneled too many things. Actually, like, mom. And I'm like, do not hear a thing. Like, sorry, kids.
I have a really hard time with like focus in crowds at all, because like my brain wants to listen to because like I think I hear too much.
That's
like, I think
exactly how your brother is. Guys, I basically married my best friend.
However,
she also
I also married her, but they're not related.
Yep.
It's firstborn.
Yep.
I don't know. But like I hear everything, so I get overwhelmed when all of the sounds are happening, because like I can hear the drip of the sink. I can hear, and then maybe I'm a little spectrumy. I'm like, I can't hear any more things.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Well, good. That's not too terrible yet.
People are gonna be like, unsubscribe. This episode is dumb. Okay, so 100th episode.
Yes, thank you all for, if you've listened to all 100 episodes, why?
God bless, yeah.
But also thank you.
Yeah.
If you haven't, they're all everywhere the episodes are.
Yeah.
But we're so glad you're here.
Tell us what you want out of the next 100 episodes.
Yes, people want t-shirts.
I know, it's weird.
But we don't want to cricket them ourselves. So we're trying to find out who's going to...
We were just talking about how our bandwidth, like we don't have any more margin. And so,
even Jake, poor Jake, he's so sweet. He's like, well, you can't. It's not a big deal. You just take it to the post office. I was like, then I have to address it and label it. And I did that when you guys were selling DVD. Well, not you guys. Green Street was selling DVD. And I was like, that was horrible. And that was my job. So
yeah,
we're trying to find... If anybody out there is a creator and has sold something, let us know who you've used. Do they take too much of a percentage? Is your stuff getting stolen? I don't know how that works. I'm so afraid to post all these things because I keep seeing the reels of like, these are my shirts I created and now I'm seeing them on Temu for 99 cents. I'm like, that also kind of halts me, but eventually we have to just
technically
do it.
if you put the trademark on it, they can't use it. So I don't know, maybe not.
So we know you guys want t-shirts. We'll get those hopefully really soon.
Within the next 100 episodes, you will have t-shirts.
Yes.
And I'm grateful for you.
Yeah.
It's, if anything, it's really great to just hang out with, like, be like, oh no, we have to go record and shut the
doors
door. Closed. Okay, we will see you guys next Wednesday.
Woo, goodbye.
Thanks for being with us today. Follow us on Instagram at @underthesun_podcast. We'd love to meet you. Please help us out by subscribing on YouTube and leaving a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. We'll see you next time. Please remember this information is made available to you for informational and educational purposes only. It is in no way a substitute for medical advice.